I got into Theta Healing about 11 years ago. Vienna came to my area. It was the first time she had left Idaho, and I was in the very first class. And she told me after that class to go out and teach it. And I hadn't really a clue quite what she was talking about as far as the psychic information, but I had been intuitive all my life. So I decided to get together with the lady who had first introduced me to Theta Healing, and we start putting the classes together and teaching once a month. And I'm in Santa Rosa and she's in San Francisco. And we did the classes, and it just kept rolling. Like, people were hearing about the DNA activation, and I was put in magazines, and I started presenting, and the classes were filling. And then Vienna kept giving more information about the gene replacements, and finally a few years later then the core belief came, which is the most exciting part. That was what I really, really enjoyed doing, because I knew there was something missing. And when that came, that clicked in for me. So I have noticed so many changes, not just for myself and my family, but my clients. I've been a healer for 30 years. And when I stepped in 1997, I was working in another modality, and my guidance had told me that something was coming and I would know when it happened. And in 1998, when I met Vienna, I said, this is it. And so from that point, I noticed that things started going a lot faster for me. With my clients, I was afraid that I would have to let go of the other modality to do Theta Healing, but it's so user-friendly, you can use it with anything. And I'm also a clinical hypnotherapist, so I could use it, you know, to change the beliefs as I took people in trance, because we use Theta anyway. And so I have witnessed, probably in my 30 years, probably thousands of healings, and in Theta Healing quite a lot over these past 11 years. I've also, in my witnessing, I have seen breast cancer disappear in 1 hour. I have witnessed gallstones that got stuck in a duck, and they disappeared. Actually, it was me that it happened to, and I was in excruciating pain, and I heard Creator say to me how to go in and just dissolve it. And then I heard a voice say, go downstairs and get apple juice. And I had just got back from Italy, and I didn't even know if I had food in the refrigerator. And I crawled downstairs, and lo and behold, there was apple juice in the refrigerator, because that breaks up the gallstones also, so that I could relieve the gallbladder attacks. So that was pretty amazing for me. I've also seen instant healing in my children. My son came to me with a, he was going to Africa. He had all these immunizations done in 1 hour. And I watched as the healing, I had made a command, because the doctor said it was going to get swollen, he'd probably get a fever and be sick for the next few days. And he let me do a healing on him, and I watched the next day. He had no symptoms whatsoever. His arm didn't even hurt. My daughter recently had some female problems, and I went in to take a look. She had miscarried, and there was some tissue left. I watched that clear out. She had a high fever and terrible cramping. She slept 10 hours that night, and it was gone the next day. She called me from the gym, so I hadn't even known what had happened. I have witnessed instant healings on myself and my clients. I've broken a lot of bones, and I'm a dancer. So dancing can be a hazardous sport. Most people aren't aware of that, especially in my kind of dance that I do with salsa. The women wear heels. And one lady put her high heel right through my baby toe and broke it, and I did an instant healing on it. It was still a little swollen, but the bone, I knew it broke, and I watched it as it completely healed. I also went dancing, and I had, in the partner dancing, I had leaned onto a man, thinking that's what he wanted me to do, to lean on in the step like that, and he backed up, and I fell right down, and I broke my wrist. And my friend actually did an instant healing on it. She was one of my students, and she saw it, and she did it, and I was actually able to work with people the next day and move my arm. In fact, a week later, Vienna took a look at my arm. She goes, God, you broke your arm, and you healed it. That was a great healing. So things can happen really fast in Theta Healing. I broke my ankle 2 years ago dancing, and I didn't realize. I went in to do a healing on it. It felt really good. I danced on it for 2 hours, and only to realize it swelled up afterwards, because I didn't have any pain, because the Theta Healing took all the pain out. And then when I looked into it deeper, I realized I broke it. And so I went in and watched instant healing, and it was gone. and I could walk on my ankle and stuff like that. I didn't go dancing for another month, but I could walk on it. I'm trying to think of all the different healings I've seen so much in all these 11 years, but all I can say is the belief changes also are so important of how long. I even work with therapists and work through their issues, and they can see how fast Theta Healing can work. In fact, some of my students are therapists and have gone on to be Theta Healing teachers, so it's really exciting to see how it's spreading and growing because it's very fast. And things that would take years in therapy, even my clients have told me, boy, I've been in therapy for years, but you covered like 10 years of therapy in 1 hour. So it can go very quickly, and I know it also sets up really good stuff around manifestations, how to do it quickly, how to clear the beliefs that stop us from manifesting. So, I know that this is an evolving art, and I also know that a lot of my abilities that I had as a child are coming back as I clear my beliefs. And this is really exciting for me because I had a lot of abilities as a child. So, and there's so many different levels of Theta Healing. Eventually they'll go up to DNA 7, and right now we're at DNA 3, and I'm taking that class this year, so I'm really excited to see what happens with the abilities that come up. So I just want to say thank you to this institute, and thank you to Vianna for bringing all this information here, because it's been such a change in my life, and to help other people and to spread it all over the world. It's just amazing to be in the beginning of such a movement. So, thanks.